name's Angela Earp, and welcome to Operation American Dream TV. Today, we're in Aurora, Colorado, and we are at Rebel Marketplace, where my friend James is doing some pretty incredible things here for community wellness. Let's take a look. All right, this is my friend James Grevious. He's the mastermind and creator behind Rebels in the Garden and Rebels Marketplace. James, why don't you tell us a little bit about it?
Yeah, so this is a Rebel Marketplace out here in Del Mar Park in Aurora. So our mission is to feed our community one garden at a time. So the whole overall premise is to aggregate local businesses in the neighborhood to try to basically feed our community via marketplace.
Tell us a little bit about what your inspiration was for starting the marketplace, or like how you feel it gives back to the community.
Yeah, no, so we started off actually with Rebels in the Garden with my kids back there and my nephew. We were just growing food, and we were trying to find an outlet where we can actually provide that food to our community. So it was just through a series of like problem solving and going through different iterations, and we decided, hey, maybe we should do a farmer's market at Del Mar Park. So really it was just more of a I don't know what you want to call it, maybe a false sense of confidence maybe, that I could do this thing. And then we just started rolling with it so that way we can provide clean, healthy food at affordable prices, those sorts of things to our neighborhood right here in Aurora. So, yeah.
All right, James, what was the most difficult part about your transition from the military to community work or entrepreneurship, and how did your military service help prepare you for that?
Yeah, no, it was it's a culture shift. It's a deep culture shift. So obviously I come from the flight line, working mechanic, things like that. So the culture shift was very, very different coming from military to civilian life. Just learning how to reconnect and talk to people properly, those sorts of things. But the transition to entrepreneur life, I think a lot easier for us veterans because entrepreneurship takes a lot of dedication, discipline, late nights, all of those things. So being in the military, I was able to get up early, work on my craft, all those things, and then have that staying power to actually work through all of that. So definitely helped me being in that transition from military to entrepreneur. So the nonprofit is called Urban Symbiosis, and the intent was to try to incubate more urban farmers, growers, things like that, so we can stock the farmers market. But on top of that, that's a whole nother category that we got into that we need to work on to kind of further develop. But we brought in a voucher system this year to kind of help supplement SNAP in the community. So SNAP recipients can get their money, and then we match that SNAP recipient so that way they can increase their purchasing power out here in the market. So yeah, so we're doing different things out here to try to help the community.
I like it. That's awesome. What advice do you have for people who maybe are in the military now and they're thinking, hey, that looks pretty cool. I want to do something like that after my service. Like, what advice do you give people like that?
I would say do that. Anybody gets out of the military. When I was in there, I always called my job, my military job, my side gig, right? So that was what I was doing on the side because I was preparing for exits years before I even got out. So that allows you to kind of get your systems in place, get your mindset, start rewiring some things to go into more of an independent state, more so than the dependent state of the military, where they're like, yo, this is what you're doing, this is what needs to get done, and you're like, copy that, let's get it, and it's very simple, and there's no questions about what you need to be doing. But in entrepreneur life, things are all over the place. You don't know what you don't know, and it's just you figuring it out. So it's better you figure it out while you still have your money, you still have benefits, you have all of those things, so that when you transition, those things are already in place is what I would recommend folks if they were trying to do something similar to what we're doing here.
James, thank you so much for giving us some of your time today, for letting us take up so much of your time today. I'm going to let you get back to work here, but I really appreciate it. and I love what you're doing out here. Thank you so much.
Not a problem, and thanks for joining us and showcasing our vendors. And obviously, I still got my steel toe boots on, my tool belt, the whole nine. So crew chief at heart. So crew chiefs, give a shout out to y'all, and thank you for your time.
Yeah, old habits die hard, I guess.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. Appreciate
Good seeing you.
All right.
Isn't this marketplace incredible? I am so honored to call James my friend. I'm so inspired by everything that he's doing here in the Rebel community and with Rebel Marketplace, creating a community of vendors that's making wellness affordable and accessible to everyone in the community. Thank you so much for tuning in. All right, that's a wrap for this episode of Operation American Dream. Look forward to seeing you next time.